Welcome back to Lower Manhattan. And if you just joined us, we are here in New York for the arraignment of the former President Donald Trump, who's currently appearing in the Lower Manhattan courtroom just behind me around the corner. Mr. Trump was in defiant mood as he left Trump Tower for the court building this morning, entering through a discreet entrance away from the crowds outside. In a post on his own social media platform, he described the experience as surreal. Mr. Trump traveled to court with members of his Secret Service detail, followed by two of his lawyers in a second car and another car behind with two aides. There was a glimpse of Mr. Trump seen going into the courtroom, and some still photographs have been released of him sitting with his legal team inside the court. The charges will be read out to him and he will plead either guilty or not guilty and is then expected to be released on bail. He's due to return to his residence in Florida, not the one in New York, tonight, where he's due to address supporters and give a news conference. Well, video cameras might not have been allowed inside the courtroom, but America's television networks have devoted hours and hours of special coverage to this historic moment, unfolding live to millions of viewers around the world. From the spin to the fact-checking, the pundits and the protesters, it is the news story that keeps on giving. One reporter described the coverage as a truth sandwich. Here's Kami and Zara.
Thanks, guys. Good morning. 9 o'clock here in Gotham City. An unprecedented moment in America for the former president, Donald Trump.
Has America ever had two such starkly defined versions of reality? The breathless prognostications of Fox News.
History, also a sad day, according to Republicans. They call the arraignment a grim turning point for the American justice system.
Today is the day a former president becomes a criminal defendant.
But for Trump's bête noire, what he calls the fake news media, a not so subtle difference in tone.
Expect tight security and strict protocols to surround this historic moment.
If possible, they've asked me.
But for Trump, history exists to be rewritten. His fraught love affair with Fox back on.
I'll take that tape and I'll air that tape.
Everybody would take that tape.
Well, I'm asking first.
America asking, what does Trump mean to them?
They see Donald Trump as a symbol, really of freedom, as a symbol for all the freedom-loving patriots in this country.
That this is out of the blue.
On the other hand, MSNBC pointing out how frequently Team Trump end up in jail.
Mr. Weisselberg's in Rikers. Mr. Manafort served time. You served time. And while the cases are somewhat different, there is a trail of convictions, including the Trump org. Can you take seriously your former fellow travelers who say this is out of the blue?
No.
The thing is, love him or loathe him, the Trump courtside circus sells.
So it's easy to see, I guess, why the coverage descends so quickly into one trope or another.
There's a lot of good journalists who do very nuanced work, but I think particularly American TV journalism doesn't always trade in nuance. You know, it likes big, flashy graphics and oversimplified narratives and conflict. And Donald Trump serves all those things up on a plate. He sort of says jump, and I think US TV producers say how high a little bit. He's still unbelievably adept at driving the news cycle.
There he is. Right there, you see the back of his head as he's walking toward the courthouse.
For the record, the very moment Trump arrived at court an hour and a half ago.
He is using it to his advantage, trying to, not only does he raise money, but, build support.
And once inside, no news channel worth its salt can turn away.
All those rallies where the MAGA crowd chanted, "Lock her up," and Donald Trump is now locked up right now at this point in time, so.
Which of their truths is, well, more true?
Kami and Zoran reporting there. Well, let me just remind you of what we're watching at the moment. This is the corridor inside the court where we're expecting Donald Trump to appear at any moment, as promised by his people, that he would then appear and say something to the world's press. At the same time, we've also got a picture of him inside the court from about 20 minutes ago. A stills photograph. This was around about the time when he had the charges read to him. We are told 34 felony charges to which he has pleaded not guilty, every single one of them. There you go, that look on his face, hard to read his mind, but I would say he's staring into the middle distance of an uncertain future. Linda Kenny-Barden, lawyer, still with us here. Linda, when you look at that picture, Right, your former president sitting in court. Your former president sitting in court.
Well, he does not look happy, as you can see, the matter of the bravado, and he'll probably have bravado when he speaks, but he's not happy. What's interesting about that picture is that he's sitting between his original attorneys, Susan Nicholas and her partner.
Yeah.
Right, he's not sitting with other attorneys have been brought in. That tells me that Susan Nicholas, who is a very good attorney, by the way, she's a real attorney, not one of these people that we've seen in the past on the TV. You know,
like Rudy Giuliani.
I don't want to say any names, okay? She's a real attorney. She'll be looking at that indictment, which we haven't seen yet, and she'll be parsing it, and there's going to be a lot of motions to dismiss that indictment. So this is just the beginning.
Okay, and to be clear, he's always lawyered up, but he's lawyered up with the best people.
He has good attorneys this time, really good attorneys.
How do you think this will pan out without prejudging anything?
You know, I don't know. I think all those other cases that are going to come down are going to cause him to plead guilty to something or be found guilty of something.
You think he will be found guilty of something at some stage?
With all these other charges. Will it end his political career? I don't know. I don't know. He could be president under 4 indictments.
He could be president under 4 indictments. Just saying those words, letting those words sink in, it sounds absurd.
It sounds absurd, but that's how democracy runs. Remember, there were 70 million people who voted for him. And they still, you can see from out here today, they are still behind him.
I mean, politically, this puts this country into uncharted territory yet again, doesn't it?
Yes, we haven't seen anything like this. Nothing like this. Obviously, the Democratic Party will ignore it, but what I'm concerned about is the jury room, right? If this case goes to trial, do we have stealth jurors, MAGA jurors, non-MAGA jurors? Does this case be decided on politics, not on the law? I don't know.
Okay. Linda Kinney-Barden, thank you very much indeed for joining us here.
Thank you.
We are, of course, outside the courtroom in Lower Manhattan. It has been an historic day because never before has a president of the United States, a former president or a serving one, been indicted on criminal charges, 34 felony charges, we know that now, to which Donald Trump has pleaded not guilty in every single case. What we don't know yet, because there's no communication with the courtroom inside, cameras have not been allowed as well, phones are not allowed, we do not know what those charges are. But we do know that Donald Trump and this country have both entered uncharted political and judicial territory.